Number 10 of the Mighty Oak Stories, The Fairies Here. So where did we leave off? I have changed my mind. I will look. Hold my paw, Timmy. As he was checking the control room, the man tutted at the mess it was in. What's all this rubbish he's left behind? He started to read the newspaper. Success of Blackpool's major attraction grows and grows. In 3 years, this now famous attraction will celebrate its huge success. From such humble, the man read the whole article. He was not happy. Stupid boy. Why does he think I want to read about other people's success whilst we're struggling so? I'd like to be bigger, but every town now are complaining about the size. How can I grow when I have that? He threw the paper in the bin. Snubs. Ouch! Snubs! You're hurting my hand. Oh, sorry, Timmy. Oh, sorry. Timmy elbowed Snubs. That wasn't supposed to happen, was it? I know. Oh, Timmy, I really don't feel well. Snubs said, we might as well go. I told you we would fail. Shh! We will just stay a minute, Snubs. The man picked up the other newspaper. Factory closes its door after only being in business for 10 years. The nervous squirrels watched as he turned the pages. He read on. This is not bad news. The British Car Company has done so well that this modest factory has to move to larger premises. Fortunately for the staff of this factory, no jobs will be lost, as only 10 miles away from original site. There will of course be opportunities for apprenticeships and skilled workers, also said the owner, as well as mechanics, welders, and we shall also be looking for extra clerical workers as well. He read on. Then he spotted something interesting. Large site for sale. What will become of this land? Excuse me, said a man knocking loudly on the window. Do you want to sell tickets or not? Sid's father had been so engrossed with what he was reading, he had not even noticed the queue forming outside. Yes, sorry. He sold the tickets and the people got into the bumper cars and he started the ride. He could not concentrate. He got the other newspaper out of the bin and read it again. A curious look came upon his face, and then he was smiling to himself. Timmy and Snubs looked hopefully at one another. Is all this going to plan, Timmy? Snubs, I don't know. Do you think we should go now or stay a little longer? Snubs replied, stay a little longer, okay? He called through the open slot in the window. Gary, come here a minute. The young man walked over to through the moving cars to his boss. Did you call, Gov? Yes. Is your dad's leg still in plaster? Yes, he's proper fed up because he isn't working. Good. Gary looked at his boss oddly. No, I don't mean good his leg's in plaster. Listen, do you think he could cover for me this week, 6 to 10:30? Just sitting in here, cash in hand, of course. I've a feeling I'll be very busy for the next few days. Oi, over here. Oh, sorry, mate. Gary ran over to push 2 cars apart and then ran back. I will tell him tonight, boss. So 5 days, 4.5 hours. I'm sure he will. That will put a smile on the old boy's face. And Mum's. Thank you, Gary. Boss? Yes? Isn't it time for the cars to stop this go? He looked out. Nah, give him another 5 minutes. There's only 2 in the queue so far. Yes, boss. The young men working on the ride looked at each other, most surprised. What had got into their boss? He was in a good mood. Sid's father sat back and he put his hands behind his head. I wonder, perhaps my boy's not quite the nincompoop I thought he was. He's obviously left these here for me. Clever boy. Perhaps he is more like me after all. He called through the window again. Gary. Oi, Gary. Gary came running over. Yes, boss? Go and get Sid, will you? I need him to cover for me. Boss, he's only just left. He won't be very happy. Gary, go and get him, please. Yes, boss. Gary whistled over to his workmates. I won't be long. Sid's father talked over the microphone. Well, folks, you're coming to the end of your ride. The end of your go. Don't forget, tell your friends where we are. Hope you enjoyed your ride. The cars slowed to a halt. The people did not mind it because they had a long go. So they were quite satisfied. He started to sell the next lot of tickets. Poor Snubs was nervous wreck. He was hiding behind his paws again. Timmy pulled his arms down. We must go back to Mighty Oak now. Snubs, come on, don't be nervous. I think it's worked out. Okay, said Snubs. They ran back to Mighty Oak as fast as their little legs would carry them. Gary returned with a very moody-looking Sid. Gary went back to the ride to talk to Tom. Boss is in a funny mood. Something's going on. Something big. Mark my words. Sid's father sold the last tickets. It's no good looking like that, son. I was just going to have my pudding. Apple pie and custard. You know I like that, Dad. Never mind that. I have to work some things out. Got to check figures. I can't do it here. Come on, don't sulk. He patted the back of the chair. Hurry up, Sid. Sit down. I will see you later, son. I got your papers and it's a great idea. His dad picked up 2 newspapers and went out the door. He stopped. He looked back, went back in the room. He kissed his son on the back of the head and said, I'm proud of you, son. And then he left whistling as he went. Tom and Gary could not believe it. They just stared. Tom dropped his cigarette from his mouth. Sid saw them looking. He blushed terribly. What had got into Dad? The last time he kissed him was when he was 10 and he had his tonsils out. The 2 squirrels leapt up to the fence next to Mighty Oak, and they told him everything that had happened. Well done, boys. Thank you. It sounds like everything's going to plan. Huh. If you're relying on humans, it will all go wrong, said Yellowbeak, the tawny owl. Why don't you like humans, Yellowbeak? Asked Timmy. Because, my friend, you cannot trust them. When I had just fledged, I was the smallest. You see, I was the last egg to hatch. Anyway, Orny had left the nest. I knew I had to go, but I was scared. My feathers were not as developed as my brothers and sisters. Anyway, I stood on the edge. I saw a thick branch that looked safer than all the others, so I tried to fly to it, but it was just too far for my first flight, and I missed the branch and fell to the ground. I was all right, but I was too tired to fly. I could hear my family calling me. I did try to call back, but no one heard me. I made my bed in some silky wool feather moss and thought I would decide what to do in the morning. I slept well in my moss bed. It was warm and cozy. I woke up feeling refreshed. I listened out and I could hear my mother calling me. I was encouraged to know that she was just above me. I decided I would fly up a branch at a time. Just as I was going to do this, a hand scooped me up. It was a young boy. I did not hear them at all. He was with 2 friends. Oh, good, I thought. They will help me. I hope they put me in a branch as high as possible. So did they? Asked Timmy. No. Instead, he threw me like a ball to his friend. What's this then? It's a tawny owl, said the blonde-haired boy. Here, look, he threw me to the other blonde-haired boy. Funny looking, isn't he? What should we do with it? Here, give it to me. The first boy grabbed me so hard he broke a couple of my ribs. Let's see if he can swim. I was terrified. I thought I will never see my family again. The boys took me to the stream. They were just about to throw me in when there was this deep voice, really deep. The voice said, What are you boys doing? Put that owl down right now. Who said that? One of the blonde-haired boys said. The boys looked around and then they saw the grass moving. I said, put him down now. All right, said the boys. The boy holding me put me down gently. There was a large growl. The boys ran off. I was scared. I was sure my ribs were broken. I was sore and I could not move quickly. Then out from the grass came a badger. Now they are nocturnal. You hardly ever see them in the day. Don't be scared, Yellowbeak. I won't hurt you. I bumped into a fox last night who said your family were looking for you. We were in bed fast asleep when I heard these boys talking as they walked past our set. When I heard them saying they thought it was a tawny owl, I guessed it was you. Are you hurt? He asked me. I told the badger I thought my ribs were broken. I was very sore and I couldn't fly. The badger growled. He was very cross, Timmy. Badger said, I don't think you will be able to fly for a little while, son. Then what? Asked Timmy. Well, Badger walked over to the stream and he called out, Attention! Is there any kingfishers there can hear me? Then he called again, louder this time. Attention! Is there any kingfishers that can hear me? This is Boris calling. I need your help. This is Boris the Badger. It was quiet for a while. And then it was quiet for a while then, Timmy. And then there was a flash of beautiful colours. It was blue and orange. And then two landed on the bank. Timmy, they are beautiful. Have you ever seen a kingfisher, Timmy? No, never. I'd love to. Then Boris asked them to fetch a crane and told the birds he needed him to do a job. They flew off and said they wouldn't be long. Badger walked up to me and said that they won't be long, lad. Then he put his arm around me. I felt so safe, Timmy. I must admit I cried. It was the first time since I'd left the nest that I was hugged like that, and I suppose I felt protected. Anyway, he told me not to fret and that I would soon be home again. After about 15 minutes, a large grey heron landed. Badger said, "Can you take this wee fella home to his family, Badger?" Badger told Crane to be careful because of my ribs. He said of course he would. I did not want to leave the warmth and safety of the badger. I gave him a hug and walked to the heron, but for some reason I had to go back once more to Badger. I threw my wings up to him, Timmy, and I told him I would never forget him. He said he would not forget me either. I did not forget him either, Timmy. Every year I would take a present to his set. It was just some berries, fruit, that sort of thing. Not this year, though, Yellowbeak said. Great tears came to his eyes. Why? Why not this year? Yellowbeak was so upset he couldn't talk. Mighty Oak said, Timmy, Boris was killed last year. He was caught in a trap. Poachers killed him. Why? Said Timmy, now crying himself. For sport. How was that sport? Right, I don't like people any more. Mighty Oak said, Timmy, listen to me. Not all humans are the same. Yes, you do get cruel, horrible people. However, you also get kind, loving people who love animals. Huh, said Yellowbeak, and flew off.